Hey, how's it going? I thought I would start a new video series. I don't know if I don't know if I'll continue to do them. I can't guarantee that, but I'm gonna try until I run out of things to make. But now that I got my 3D printer hooked back up, I thought maybe I'll start doing a little challenge video where I challenge myself to make something. So, for example, today I've got here this beautiful little Keysight, not Agilent, but I guess it's the same thing, clamp meter. And like I said, I'm trying to be proactive with keeping my workbench cleaner and more organized. And that involves getting stuff off of the work surface and in a better place where I would consider it stored versus just sitting on my workbench hogging space. And so what I thought we would do, at least for the very first video, see if we can make something that's somewhat similar to this shape that we could, that we could hang up using like a screw into my workbench somewhere that's got this shape, so I can just clamp this around it and then my clamp meter will hang from it. So I'm really not confident with my ability to do things that aren't straight lines. So whether I fail or succeed, I'm gonna put this video up anyways because hey, it'll be a learning experience. Hopefully I succeed. It doesn't have to be this shape obviously, but I think that would be more of a challenge to make it this shape. Don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but it's worth a try, right? So yeah, I think what we'll do now, I don't think I'm gonna have the microphone rolling while I do the designing. I might change my mind for future videos, but I think for this one I'll just start doing some screen capture while I do the designing, and maybe when I go to render it, or maybe I'll play it back and then do some voiceovers. But I don't want to have to, when I'm trying to concentrate, I don't want to have to also remember to talk to you guys through the video or through the microphone. So yeah, so I guess now we will watch the attempt. I don't know if, at this point, I don't know if I'm gonna fail or succeed, but I guess we'll watch my attempt at making something that I can hang this off of. And then we'll do a time lapse of the print, and then I guess we'll do a test fit to see if it fits. If not, we'll go back to me designing again, and then if it we'll print it again, and if it does fit, we will go ahead and mount it, and then I'll show you the finished product. If not, then I'll discuss where I went wrong or where I need to polish my 3D designing skills, which I must say is very, very minuscule. So yeah, let's head to the computer and get going on this and see if I can pull this off. Hey, what is going on? So, as you saw, I went ahead and did the prints. So, I guess what I'll show first is this was the original size. I decided to do little thin test prints first. That way I'd know for sure if it fits before I wasted a ton of time and a ton of filament. As you can see, the way I designed this was drawing a small circle and a big circle and then connecting the edges, which is close to the shape, but not quite. Agilent went a little fancy with their shape. So, went back to the drawing board, and the only thing I changed is I connected from here to here and used the arc tool to make an arc. So it was a little more rounded, but not by a whole lot. And you can see, still wasn't quite right. So then, I took a picture of the gap that was left and then used that to determine how much more I need to add. And then I decided to use a bigger circle for the top so the top's not as pointy. And I got much closer. And I think, actually this might be the final one. Was it this? Yeah, I think the other one is the final one. By the way, I just had a tiny couple little tweaks. Yeah, and then I ended up with pretty much the perfect size. So then, once I knew that I had the right shape to where I could expand it and make it 3D and it would fit through here, I took a measurement of the depth it would need to be, and not this, because obviously this sticks out more, so if I had this against the wall, it would need to stick out to this height, I guess. So I went ahead and just measured to here, so that way it sticks out the front too. Because I planned on using the front of it to have accessories. So here is the main unit. I think I printed it at 75% infill with 4 shells and 0.3 millimeter layer height, which I've found in the past that no matter what you do, layer height wise, either it's 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3, you don't gain that much in quality or resolution. I mean, technically speaking, resolution you do, but I've never noticed a very big difference. The only thing you add is a much higher chance of your print failing. So I did it at 0.3, and as you can see, it looks really good. I'm actually pretty pleased with it. And I made sure that both of these angles were 45 degrees. You can do overhangs as long as it's not beyond 45 degrees. If it's beyond that and you're printing slow, you might be able to pull it off, but your success chance drops through the floor. So I went with 45 degrees because it's basically the last angle where you can almost guarantee that it'll work fine, and as you can see, it did. And since this is the top, I needed this to go in at 45 degrees. So then this is the piece you mount to the wall. So let me show you. And I modeled it after just this regular old screw, but this is pretty standard. So and the bottom, I think I did that at 3 millimeter thickness, which should be plenty strong. So we'll screw that into there. And as you can see, the head of the screw fits in also. So this will be in the wall, either in the wall or in my workbench. If it's in my workbench, I'll just use this screw. If I put it in the wall, I'll have to get one of those plastic anchor things. But, so now we got this. This will be in the wall like this. And then here is our hanger. This is the top. It just goes in like that. But once it's in there, I mean, it's not going anywhere. So that is the mounting method that I came up with. What I could have done also is to make a little hollow hole like this go all the way through from the top. But the reason I didn't do that is because I wanted to be able to add stuff to the front. The first thing I wanted to add, I'm not that great. I mean, if you're good at 3D design, you could probably already tell from watching me design this that I'm not that good at it. And I'm not completely sure how to make this angled out without just mangling this whole thing and making it look bad. So what I did was just made a little square slot here that I can push an extra part that I print. And here it is. So that way I can print this on its side to avoid having any overhangs. And then when I'm done, I can just push it into this hole. As you can see, once it's pushed in the hole, it actually looks okay. I think it was meant to go there. But now there's a lip here so that, let me pull it off first. No, it fits really well, and that's a good thing. I don't think I'll need to glue it because if you're tugging, if something is tugging on the top, it'll be acting like a lever, and then this has to be perfectly square to slide out, so it'll actually lock it in there really well. But anyways, if this is on there and you have it on the wall, technically that could just slide off. But with this piece on there, like such, you just get the top over it like that, and then it fits fine. I kind of wish I would have rounded the bottom. I could technically still do that with sandpaper, because this was actually quite a bit of plastic, and it took, I think the print time is a little over 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something like that. So I don't know if I want to reprint it when I could just sand the bottom. So I might do that just to make it fit a little bit better. I mean, it fits fine technically. And I might be able to actually, yeah, I could technically just go over it this way. But now it won't slide off because this piece is on there. And last but not least, this slot. Here's the first piece I printed, and as you saw in a little quick test fit, the probe wouldn't fit into it. So it's just a little too small. I'm sure it would if I used a lot of force, but it's too much force to where I'm going to be putting way too much force on to the drywall, since this will potentially go on drywall. I'm not really sure where I want to mount this. Actually, probably workbench, so probably wouldn't really matter that much, but I didn't want it to be this tight of a fit. So while it looks good, it was not ideal. So went back to the drawing board. It does fit in here though, and there's supposed to be 2 of them, so there'll be one here and then one here, and these I was just going to super glue in. I went ahead and decided to save time due to the unreliability of this printer. I decided, and also because the build platform's not level, the one they gave me, I decided to just print one piece at a time, dead center. That way all I have to do is get the center of it leveled, and then most of my prints should turn out. And since I've been doing that, I've been having much better reliability with printing, even with this stupid printer. So anyways, to save time from having to do 2 separate prints, I just went ahead and combined them when I went to adjust the size of these, and I almost overdid the size. Just look at this. There's still a little resistance, so maybe I could call that perfect, but either way, you got your finger guard on here, so it actually kind of turned out perfect, really. And then that would go in here. There you go. Now another thing I worried about, well, you don't have to worry about these falling out. No, sorry about that. Really failing at the camera today. It's thinnest right here, so all I'd have to do is slide it up and then pop it out. But anyways, another thing I worried about after I printed it, I thought, am I going to be able, especially with this lip on here, am I going to be able to get the clamp on there? Not a problem. I didn't actually plan that. That just worked out that when I swing it up, it just clears it. So anyways, there you have it. Pretty pleased with it. I think all I gotta do now is just drop some super glue in there, hold that in there until it's bonded, and then pick a place, screw this into wherever I'm gonna mount it, and then I'm gonna have a pretty sweet custom clamp meter holder, so I don't clutter up my work surface any more than it is. And another thing too is that it does come with a really nice little case, but it's not a hard case, so it's not protective very much, and I've got too much stuff. And if you saw my little pile of hard cases from all my other instruments, it's getting ridiculous. So anyways, it'll be nice to get this off the top of the work surface because I'm running out of places to put these. But anyways, I think it's time to mount it, and then I'll get it hung, and then I guess we can call this a success, but can't call it a success until we get it mounted, so let's go do that now. Okay, so this is the far left side of my bench, where you don't really ever see me shoot very often, because there's not as important stuff over here. But off to the left even more is where I was going to wrap the bench around so I have more workspace. And if you saw the rest of the room, you'd see that I'd free up more space because I planned on putting the little beer fridge I have up here down below, but I'll cover that in a different video. But anyways, there's room over here. I'm probably going to put my Agilent meter here now that I got the magnetic hanging kit working while being able to keep the kickstand. So I think I'm going to mount this one right here. Well, now I'm just going to screw it in. Ow, that hurt. Man, that lip caught the corner of my finger. That did not feel great. Huh. Could help if I had it the right way up. But yeah, that is solid. Only thing left is to show you the probes in action, and I've not tried this, so who knows what'll happen. See, now I'm not sure what to do about all the cable. I guess there is. I guess that's fine. As long as it gets it off the top of the bench. Oh, the super glue didn't stick. I'll re-glue that after this video. There you go. Well, I think I'm going to attempt to do one of these videos, maybe not one a week. That actually took a lot of work going back and forth, especially the camera work. Yeah, I hope that was insightful, helpful, entertaining, or, well, probably entertaining to anyone who's has any background in 3D design. Laugh at how terrible I am at it. But anyways, to me that was a success, and so I'm pretty excited to do a lot more of these and hone my 3D designing skills. If anyone has any tips or suggestions on things I could have done better with this, especially people who have more 3D design experience, please let me know. And I am kind of getting to where I feel like I'm finding the limitations of using SketchUp. It's really easy to learn and it's free, but I feel like there's some things that I need to do that it's not able to do. Or maybe it can do and I just don't know how. Like, it'd be hard to explain without showing you a screen capture example, but you know, like taking two objects and then doing a subtraction or an addition. I don't know if SketchUp can do that or not, but there's some things like that I've needed to do and I haven't been able to, and it's kind of becoming a constraint to what I can make. I was actually surprised I was able to pull this one off today, and the prints, all of them went flawlessly. One of the probe holder thing ended up being too small, but that was like a 5-minute print, so just redid it, not a big deal. You probably noticed, which part was it? There was one of the things, maybe it was a probe holder. When I was in the screen capture of me designing it, I actually went to export it and stopped the screen capture before realizing that I actually hadn't given it 3D depth yet. It was still a 2D design. So I went back and added that, but I was way too lazy to be bothered to turn the screen capture back on and record me doing that, because it only took 2 seconds, and then I had to dump it back onto my network drive to get it over my workbench computer. And yeah. But anyways, it took quite a bit of work to get the video for everything. It wasn't hard to do this, it was just hard to go back and forth between my computers and switch the camera for different things and record audio for some of it. And yeah, but I guess now that I've done it once, it'll be a lot easier for any videos in this Let's Design Something 3D printing series, or whatever I decide to call it. So anyways, I think I've more than rambled on enough. I will see you for the next video.